Tyrannosaurus rex. Picture a T-Rex. 12 meters of bone and fury. 6 tons of muscle that could bite through steel. Now picture 2 of them trying to mate. The problem wasn't desire, it was architecture. Researchers believe T-Rex engaged in elaborate pre-mating behavior. Scent marking, vocalizations, possibly color displays we can't see in fossils. Why? Because approaching one of these animals uninvited was a death sentence, even for another T-Rex. Fossil evidence shows healed bite wounds on specimens consistent with mating aggression. They had to negotiate, badly, and with teeth. The female was larger. She set them. He either passed the test or became a snack. Nature doesn't do romance. It does auditions. Triceratops, 3 horns, a frill the size of a coffee table. The frill wasn't armor, it was a billboard. Researchers now believe Triceratops' frills were highly vascularized, meaning they flushed with blood, changing color during displays. 2 males locked frills and shoved. Fossils confirm it. Healed puncture wounds on frills match the horn positions of rival Triceratops exactly. This wasn't symbolic posturing. This was sustained, brutal, potentially lethal competition. And the winner? He didn't get to rest. The female still had to choose. All that blood and noise for an audition, she could still fail. The scars weren't badges of honor. They were application forms. Velociraptor. Velociraptor was not the 6-foot nightmare cinema promised. Roughly the size of a turkey, covered in feathers. But the mating behavior implied by its anatomy was something else entirely. Like modern birds, its closest living relatives, Velociraptor almost certainly had a cloaca, a single multi-purpose opening used for everything, including reproduction. Birds that share this trait often engage in a cloacal kiss, a brief and precarious physical contact. Now add the sickle claws, the 2-inch curved weapons on each foot that could puncture and grip. Researchers studying bird mating in feathered theropods suggest males used their feet and arms to grip females during mating, a process that left physical marks, small, fast, armed with hooks, and absolutely not careful about it. The fossil record doesn't show tenderness, it shows grip strength. Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus presents a problem that paleontologists have discussed with increasing seriousness. The plates and the tail made conventional mating geometrically difficult. 17 bony plates running the full length of the spine. A tail lined with 4-foot spikes, called a thagomizer, capable of puncturing bone. The female had the same setup. How did this actually work? Current thinking suggests side mounting with extreme precision, or that their spines were more flexible than modern reconstructions imply. Either answer raises more questions than it resolves. Some researchers have proposed the plates were movable displays, flushing pink during courtship to signal readiness. So the ritual involved 2 heavily armored animals, circling, flashing color, calculating angles. Less courtship, more logistics problem. Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus weighed up to 60 tons. Its neck alone was 9 meters long. Mating at this scale required coordination that borders on the incomprehensible. The female's back sat meters off the ground. The male had to position and balance his full weight without injury to either animal. Fossil trackways show Brachiosaurus moved in herds, which implies some form of social selection. Males likely competed through neck displays, parallel walking, possibly neck wrestling similar to modern giraffes. But the actual mechanics of contact required physical trust at a scale no other animal on Earth has matched before or since. One miscalculation, tons of pressure. These animals reproduced successfully for millions of years. The engineering had to be precise. It had to be. The alternative was extinction. Spinosaurus didn't just live on land. Recent evidence confirms it was semi-aquatic. Short, dense legs, crocodilian snout, bone density suited for buoyancy. which means its mating behavior may have crossed two environments entirely. The sail on its back, up to 2 meters tall, formed by elongated vertebrae, almost certainly functioned in display, like a fin cutting above water, a signal visible from distance. Evidence from crocodilians and aquatic birds suggests Spinosaurus may have conducted courtship displays in shallow water before moving to land for contact. Two environments, two sets of physical challenges, one animal trying to communicate desire across both. The sail wasn't decoration. It was a broadcast tower. Ankylosaurus. Ankylosaurus was built to be impenetrable. Armored skull, fused bone plates across the back, neck, and flanks. A tail club that could shatter bone. Every surface was defense, except one. The underbelly was soft, and that was the only viable access point for mating, which means the most armored dinosaur on Earth had to, at some point, become completely vulnerable, rolling, positioning, exposing the one surface evolution forgot to protect. Researchers believe female Ankylosaurus displayed behavioral submission signals to males before contact, trust signals, vulnerability rituals in an animal built entirely around refusing to be vulnerable. The armor was everything it had, and reproduction required setting it aside entirely. Allosaurus. Allosaurus is where the fossil evidence stops being theoretical. Researchers studying Allosaurus specimens found bite marks on bones consistent with intraspecific biting. One Allosaurus biting another Allosaurus, not in predation, but concentrated on areas associated with mating aggression and courtship positioning. Neck, shoulders, back. These were not death wounds. They healed, which means the animal survived the encounter, carried the scars, and kept living. The biting was part of the ritual, not accidental, not incidental. Deliberate, repeated, apparently necessary contact that left permanent marks on bone. Every scar was a record, a ledger of reproduction written directly into the skeleton. Allosaurus didn't hide what mating cost, it preserved it. 66 million years later, we can still read every line. The bones we dig up are records of death, predation, competition, extinction. But they're also records of persistence, of animals finding ways to reproduce under conditions of extreme physical constraint, mortal risk, and architectural impossibility. They did it for 160 million years. The scars prove it. Stay curious.